Hi, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is your general reading for June 2020. It is general, so the messages will not resonate with everyone. You can check your your moon and your rising sign. That might be more of a, fit for you. But also, I wanted to bring to you the fact that I did the Virgo video last night and got ready to post it. But then when I posted it, half of the video was missing. So it was really bizarre. But I did want to tell you that there was a message that came through, and I wanted to kind of give it to you that if any of you had planned on traveling or someone is coming to visit you, please be very, very cautious because there were indicators that there could be an accident while traveling. So I just wanted to bring that to you, okay? Excuse me. I've been outside and the pollen is really high. So we're going to be using the Radiant White deck. We will be clarifying with La Vida Sibila. And then I have the Angel Answer and the Romance Angel cards, but we will most definitely be wrapping the reading up with a Golden Nostradamus. I do have finally got a new laptop. It is a MacBook. I don't know. It's a MacBook Pro, and I don't know how to use it. It's fancy. So y'all bear with me, okay? It's real fancy. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around. And that's an odd angle for me, but basically it's for you to see the cards. And so I'm going to put another shuffle on these. And then we're going to lay the cards. Okay. I hope everyone is as well as can be, expected during this crazy time that we're in. So here we go. 9 cards down. Oh yeah, great. The Hanged Man. I love that Hanged Man. Okay. Oh, the Eight of Cups reversed. Oh, that's interesting. The Devil. Wow. Isn't that interesting? Something's not right with this. I've got 2 external hard drives hooked up to it, and one of them is just running and running, and it shouldn't be doing that. I'll have to either call Apple back and be like, hey, what's that? Or figure out something else. It could be the program that I'm using. I don't know. It irritates me. The Knight of Coins. Oh, wow. The reverse 8 of Swords. So I have 2 8s down the center. That's interesting. The Ace of Wands. Oh, well, I know there's some sex going on here. It's usually that combination there. The Three of Cups. Wow. The Queen of Swords. Well, that kind of figures. And I'll explain what I mean by that in a minute. Well. And the Page of Wands. Now, what's over the deck? It's the Fool card. Okay. So, the first thing I'm going to tell you, I remember this combination came up long time ago, and I brought forth this interpretation. Somebody came on in the video and told me it was a bunch of bullshit, but it's not. Whenever I see this combination together, and this is just an off chance, okay? It may not have anything to do with the actual reading, but I'm going to bring it to you anyway because this stands out for me. If this devil is being represented by a person and you have kids, I want you to be real careful around this person because this implies that the person may have pedophilial predilections or a sexual interest in your kid. Okay? That's the first thing I'm going to bring out. May not have anything to do with the reading, but that stands out to me tremendously. Okay? So, Basically, let's see, I have one, two major arcana. I have one, two, three court cards. Excuse me. Two wands, two swords, and two cups, with one pentacle here. Now, these two eights, right down the center, you know, and I was looking for my, oh my God, that whirring sound is making me nuts, okay? Because it should not be doing that, and I can't figure out why it's doing it. I've checked the settings and everything. I don't know. Hold on, I meant to do this last night, but I can't find my, information, and I know I printed it because I've been putting my book together for you guys, and I have no clue why I cannot find the information that I'm looking for. I know it's stuff in here, and I have so many, what do you call it? That's all the Akashic records. I get stuck on this. Oh God, my throat is so scratchy. I don't know. That's all the Famolini. It's stuck someplace, and I don't know where I put it. But this is my multiples, and it's not there. Well, let me give you the first meaning of the two eights. Two eights imply that there may be a slight concern in regards to a new romance, relationship, or partnership. All right? Remember, I was just saying to you that if there's a possibility that there is a romantic interest, I want you to be cautious, particularly if you have children. And don't think it's just going to be young children and or what do you call it? I have no clue where that paper is. Or just girls, because it can also be boys. You know, pedophiles have their own predilections, and it is the rare pedophile who does not make a distinction between boys and girls. Okay, they typically either like boys or they like girls, but it's very rare that you'll find one that has no preference. That's what I'm trying to say. So I want you to be careful with that. Let me go ahead and pull up, because I don't know where my document is, and I know damn well that I printed it. Let's see here. To me, this is a reversal of a way of thought. You know, the devil is not always something negative. Okay? Basically, he just can be about those things in which we chain ourselves to or commit ourselves to. You know, you got to pay bills, you got to eat, you got to take care of yourself, so you have to commit and chain yourself to a job, a career. For some of you, you are doing exactly what you want to do, you love doing it, and it brings you great satisfaction. For others of you, you may be chained to a job that you hate, a career that you hate, or working with people you can't stand, right? So he's not always a negative kind of a thing. Let me see if I can find my documents on here. This is just really bizarre that I can't find them. Let me see here. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Hold on. I'm looking for is the what in the hell is going on with my phone? My old phone. I'm not even using this phone anymore. I can't seem to find what I'm looking for. So if you'll bear with me. Hmm. Oh my God, that whirring sound is making me crazy. My documents. Let me see here. Here we go. I'm looking in the wrong place. So the 2 8s. Holy smokes. I can't even pull it up. I think the 2 8s speak to going on a trip. I'm not exactly sure about that. And I apologize for not having my crap together this morning. But whatever. Okay. This hangman tells me that there's been something you've been waiting around for, or at least, at the very least, something that you have been um, musing over or contemplating over or trying to get a an in-depth understanding of whatever it is. The thing about the hanged man though and the Neptunian energy is that it can be very murky and very foggy. As a Virgo sun, with the sun being on your first house, you have Pisces on the seventh house, and we do have Neptune in his ruling sign of Pisces there. So in the house of partnerships and relationships, legalities. And so thus the situation can be very, very foggy. It can be very, very confusing. It can be very, very murky, very tricky. Um, and so, in that sense, if you recognize that, then you kind of put things on hold. Or maybe things are on hold because they're so confusing to you. Um, but then we get this here in the past, we get some information or some news that comes in. Typically, when the Knight of Pentacles shows up, it's something that you've been waiting on for a long, long time, and it usually portends good news. Um, we see that there's something to celebrate here. Now, I don't know if this is a birth, a graduation, what do you call those? An engagement party, one of those kinds of things. But these two cards here kind of give me a different story. Now, the reverse Eight of Cups usually speaks to like feasting and joy and the release of sad emotions. We see somebody walking, and in effect, if he were right side up, he'd be walking directly into the devil. But in this case, he's walking away from the devil and he's walking into the Hanged Man. Now, this is the only eclipsed moon in the deck of the cards. We just had our lunar eclipse, our full moon lunar eclipse on the 5th, which was Friday. And as a timing, we will be having our solar eclipse on the 21st, right after the first day of summer, the summer solstice. Right? It is these three things. Now, sometimes the devil can be that energy of that third dimensional thing: food, drink, clothes, sex, cars, those earthly pleasures that we enjoy, but those things that can also, in a sense, kind of capture and bind us, right? It is this reverse Eight of, oh my God, that whirring sound. It is that reverse Eight of Swords that has me a bit confused. So I'm going to take a look first at this reversed Eight of Swords to see, for the first thing, if it tells me anything here in the center. Here we go. Hold on. Oh, y'all, my book. It is huge. Hold on. Okay, the Eight of Swords. And it is reversed. Now, the timing of this would be the 17th to the 31st of May. And the reversed. Okay, first of all, there's a meaning next to the Hangman. The Eight of Swords next to the Hangman. It is asking you to keep quiet counsel and keep to yourself for the moment. Do not offer any information and do not add more weight to the situation or issue. As to speak your mind or voice your opinion at this time may worsen an already uncomfortable situation. So keep yourself to yourself. Now, what's interesting about this is the keywords are disquiet, difficulty, opposition, treachery, and hopelessness. It tells that you may be feeling weighed down by the confines of your situation and you are unable to see any reason to be hopeful at this time. You are encouraged to stay strong and attempt to fight for your liberty. It warns of mishaps and accidents both in and around the home as well as out on the roads. I already gave you that message, so that's twice that it's come up. So take extra care and try to preempt other drivers' actions, as the next 8 weeks is highlighted with this respect. Incidentally, Mercury is going to be going retrograde here on the, I want to say 8, 7, 15th, 16th or 17th, somewhere along in there. So that's also another thing, the next 8 weeks, and you can look at that time frame as the Mercury retrograde. It may be indicating that a new beginning or new start can be made at this time. The timing is most conducive to taking leaps and bounds in the right direction. It may be indicating that pressure has been released and you are now ready to move forward in quick time. You will be able to get on with more positive actions as there will be more freedom of thought and activity. It implies that one is being restrained or held back in certain areas of their life, and it can suggest that an uncomfortable or unsavory situation is caused by familiarity. It is easier to stay in a familiar situation rather than to step out into the unknown, even if the unknown is more satisfactory. It indicates one who is confused, disillusioned, and emotionally hurt. Stress, worry, and tension are also indicated, which does not allow for clear thinking or a positive attitude. Long-term restrictions, obstacles, and hindrances may be indicated when the Eight of Swords appears reversed, as it tells of struggle, loneliness, and wasted energies. It tells of pressures being released and a turning around of a situation. More freedom of thought and activity is available as there is a relaxation of all fears and tensions. The way is now clear to forge ahead unhindered. It tells of a strong feeling of being feeling cornered or fenced into a situation or being held back from your path. And this situation will only hold you at a standstill for a short time. Things will not get any worse if some small but pertinent changes are initiated now to ensure positive developments in the near future. That's what that says. Now, I want to take a look at this reverse Eight of Cups. First, I want to look at the Eight of Cups to see if it tells me anything being next to some of these cards. It does not. Now, interestingly, here is the, and this is kind of strange. It indicates uncertainty about the future and indecision about which direction to head in. Some serious thought and soul searching is needed at this time. It implies dissatisfaction, disappointment, and disillusionment, and feeling dejected, rejected, and defeated. Reassess your position, then make alternative plans or amends accordingly. It tells of temptations to pursue temporary distractions even though all is well at home. It tells of putting emotional security at risk, believing that the grass is greener on the other side. It may be indicating that your interests and priorities lay within the material realm. It may be implying that money is desperately needed at this time and you must be willing to put your efforts and hard work into attaining it. That's that bindment and committing that I'm talking about. It may be indicating that changes need to be made in regard to your attitude and lifestyle. Be sure that your choices and decisions before undertaking these changes. It is an indication that situations may take a negative turn. Sweeping changes need to be made in your life when the Eight of Cups appears reversed. Once this is done, positive energies will usher into your life and lighten your attitude. It is a message to do with changes. and it is an indication that you need to view a situation or issue from all angles before making any major changes in your life. It is not a good time to move home or travel when this card appears reversed. It is an indication that something or someone is preventing the facilitation of introspection. This can be due to circumstances or by the actions of another person or people, or can be due to the individual not wanting to face the facts as they are and deal with them. Right? Let me look at this Three of Cups to see if it tells me anything being next to any of these. Nothing about the Three of Cups. Those are my only, and now I'm going to look at this Ace of Wands here. I'm not sure if the Wands come first. The Ace of Wands, and there is a meaning next to the Devil. And that is, appearing next to the Devil is an indication that an important relationship needs to be analyzed and looked into deeply, as resentments and hurt feelings are lurking below the surface and need to be dealt with now. I don't know what this is about, and it's giving me a hinky feeling. Okay? It really is. It's giving me a really, really hinky feeling. To me, though, it's almost like the cards say some of you recognize the emotional whatever and you move away from this, right? For others of you, though, this news is coming, and this could be related to some money. For others of you, this is I think some kind of romantic relationship or the possibility of one. And we see these two things that are kind of the cups and the sword. So remember I said it's almost as if there's a change of heart here. But it's like you get away and you release all of those things, and it is something to celebrate. But I don't know if this is some kind of temptation coming up on the other side of this. Almost as if to say, not necessarily that the situation is going to come round again, but something's definitely going to be presented. And I still stand by that if you have kids, and this is somebody that you're dealing with in some kind of romantic relationship, please be wary. So since I can't quite get a handle on what this Devil is telling me, there are definitely three people here. Okay? At the very least. Now sometimes if this is not about having children, right? If this is just a message, this implies sexual attraction, carnal attraction, right? But it also says that there's something else going on beneath the surface that either you're not dealing with, you're not saying, okay? Maybe you haven't said anything. You know what I mean? Remember that next to, I don't know if it was the Hanged Man. And maybe that's what it is. Because here we see, if this is you, we see you coming out with the truth. Okay? Let's take a look at this Devil card. Let's see what he's telling us. The Casa. The Letterato. And the Donna Maritata. Well. That's interesting. The Donna Maritata is, can be the woman with children or marriage, or speak to, woman with children. But sometimes she's a woman without children. Basically, she's a queen of coins, so she's going to represent somebody who's kind of, homey, practical, down to earth, kind, you know. But I think this is about a discovery of some kind, something happening, because she shows up with the children. I don't think that's an accident. Something that's happening in the home. Most definitely. The Ammalato, the Costanza, and the Disgrazia. Hmm. Hmm. Let me see what this Page of Wands is saying. It's just an odd, there's a lot of things going on in this spread. The Lecherezza. The Sex card. Holy shit. The Giovani Fanciulla. And the Messaggeri. In which case, I don't know. There's something about this card. This set of cards here. Pensiero. Meditation. Thinking long and hard, whatever this news is. The Viaggio. I'm really not liking this spread, Virgo. Get off the book, kitty cat. We will start with the Casa. This is definitely the representation of the devil, because there's several meanings. But it means the home, the heart, the house, residential property. Usually your home, but could also be somebody else's home. It says that as this person can be represented by the cards on either side. It represents the family, one's extended family, and anything that can influence the dynamics of the family, everyday life and one's routine. The home is supposed to be a place where it offers protection from the difficulties of the outside world, hence the closed doors and windows, which are to allow no negative influences to come in. That's what it's supposed to stand for. Now, the third meaning of the card derives from the type of house depicted. It is a palace and not an average house. So in this instance, it predicts stability, protection, wealth, physical and emotional well-being. However, it can also represent your most intimate feelings, your fears, hopes, desires, and the contents of your subconscious mind, or the hidden side of your personality that is rarely shown in public. But it can also foretell the imminent solution of a problem or reveal the hidden cause of a problematic situation. Usually, events predicted by this card are very quick to manifest, usually within a week or even as quickly as 48 hours. This is the person, the letterato. A learned man, someone to do with the law, such as a juror, a judge, or a lawyer. He represents a man between the ages of 40 and 55. Okay? He could be an older sibling, a relative, a lover, a partner, or someone who is single or divorced. He represents intelligence, intellect, and inner strength, together with a great mental capacity. for learning and studying. It represents culture and refinement. That's it. That tells me who the person is. The Dona Maritata. She can refer to anybody of a particular age group. It indicates a married woman or someone in a serious relationship. Oddly, it does not necessarily indicate a woman with children. But often it does refer to you as a female or the mother if you are married or officially committed to a partner. The other meaning of this card is neutral because it describes the inner nature of a person. Someone who's honest, caring, loyal, dependable, kind. Okay? The person is highly practical with specific skills and abilities. Now, if this card represents, on a very rare situation, it speaks to a nourishing and harmonious environment or guarantees support and protection and stability, as well as representing family values or a close family. That's what it says. So I honestly think that there's some secrets going on here. And so I stand by what I was saying about this. We will look at the Ammalato Costanza. The Ammalato is an interesting card to show up here. What is he? I think he's the 4. Yeah. The focus of this card is health and well-being. It represents illnesses, past or future, or someone who is already ill. It's not near the, let me see. In a broader sense, it foretells a period in which you will be forced to interrupt your daily routine and visit places you would rather not. It represents a block, a pause in the smooth flowing of daily life. Just as sickness is seen as interrupting health, so is this card interpreted as a sort of interruption, a stagnation, a temporary block, which causes nuisances and inner unrest. But metaphorically, it represents any situation that is sick. This can be an unhealthy relationship, a personal flaw that needs healing, or a situation that is rife with pain, personal affront, and or corruption. It can also indicate a pathological relationship with another or something that has been spoiled. It gives the connotation of something being tainted and unclean. But the card can also act as a warning, like a ticking time bomb, the calm before the storm, or a situation that seems still and okay, but that is eventually going to erupt and backfire, causing great damage. It also warns you of people or situations that will lull you into a false sense of security, and it indicates people who are making you sick. Hmm. With the Costanza, it's the 10 of Cups. It is the Strength card, if I'm not mistaken, how it's listed here. The Perseverance. Now, it says this card represents an earned success, that nothing will be handed out freely. You're going to have to earn your success through your own efforts. Difficulties will be overcome, but only by active participation and involvement in changing your destiny. It invites you to muster your strength and keep going, for in doing so, success will be achieved. Now, the neutral meaning is an intensifier, for better or for worse, indicating a long time frame of resolution. If surrounded by negative cards, it gives little hope of success due to adverse forces working against you. Usually, it refers to situations that have been going on for a long time, situations that have not changed or been resolved. It indicates a long period of waiting or delay. with the disgrazia. I don't know. To me, this is saying that, like I said, it's a change of heart, but it's something that you have been thinking about for a long time, and maybe you've been trying to, quote unquote, kind of sweep it under the rug. It foretells a period of great turbulence that is about to enter your life, and it heralds the arrival of traumatic events, which are caused by outside events and people. This is, however, only superficial, as you would have been, even if unknowingly, involved in the materialization of such occurrence in your life. However, a more philosophical approach to right and wrong, and what this card wants to convey, is that you, usually but not always, do not deserve what has happened to you, or what has happened, depending on the position of the card in the spread. However, more often than not, it implies that you have failed to learn from past mistakes, or that a mistake from the past has come to exact payment in the present. You will feel as if you are a hapless victim of circumstance and completely powerless. It indicates a drastic and radical change for the worse, because something will never return to the way it used to be. It is a card that indicates accidents, sometimes even violent ones, with dangerous or even fatal outcomes. It can, let me see, in personal relationships, it heralds a painful and sudden separation, violence, the loss of a friend, family member, bereavement, and the traumatic and unexpected loss of a loved one. Metaphorically, it represents a situation that blows up in your face, and it is always connected to an element of abruptness and intensity. The Carefree card. It indicates a small setback or inconsequential delay. Now, near positive cards, it can indicate a slight improvement, but in love, it indicates inconsistency, a lack of commitment, sleeping around, and an affair. When it is found near a significant card, it defines this person as being moody, frivolous, inconsistent, and someone who cannot keep a promise or secret. Another very important meaning to this card in relation to recklessness, impulsiveness, careless mistakes that will cause you much grief in the future, possibly in the form of lawsuits for negligence, recklessness, or dangerous driving. It is this card, and she is not representative of a person. This is you in this situation. Let me explain. She's the Queen of Wands. Sometimes this card will show up in a reading for no apparent reason and cause confusion as to who the woman is. When this is so, the function is not that of representing a woman at all, but is at the point of pointing to a problem and a danger, an underlying problem that is of specific relevance to you. Looking to the left, it is the carefree, the recklessness that holds the key to unraveling the problem. Because she's pointing to this card, and it says that's where the danger is coming from, being reckless. Okay? Now, if this is a romantic relationship, it represents a crush and first love, someone who is besotted in a completely irrational romantic attachment. But it also points to anxiety and to a particular degree of uncertainty and instability. The three words to be associated with this card are fragility, vulnerability, and impressionability. Here's the letter. Di Messaggeri. He's the Jack of Coins. Like this. I don't know what this news is, but it is a neutral card. Now, it can necessarily be the idea of, it simply represents news. but it is news that is not of a generic sense, like the letter. The letter can be something you randomly heard on the radio or the TV. Okay, this has a much greater importance in your life. Okay, it can also represent people, a messenger, a mediator, or someone who finds themselves between two parties, a go-between, a negotiator, a diplomat, a representative, a middleman. But it can also be the postman, an interpreter, a journalist, an ambassador, any kind of intermediary. It usually represents young, dark-haired men. But there's a secondary meaning. It is linked to the action of sending or receiving something or the arrival of someone. It refers to something that will soon be a part of your life and is connected to the idea of speed, rapid change, and velocity. It is connected to the idea of movement, of rapidly changing situations, and is associated with the idea of the near future. Sometimes this card can show up like divine intervention or an angel, a powerful spiritual force for greater good. It could represent someone in spirit who has helped out and for all intents and purposes is acting as a mediator between you and God. The word angel, after all, means messenger. I don't know what this is about. Pensiero. I think he's the 7 of coins. Let me see. Thought. It says it reveals the thoughts and the actions and intentions of the person referred to. Simply, the card denotes the act of thinking about something. It refers to important decisions and possible misgivings and second thoughts, but also to projects and ideas. Okay? It refers to meditation, inner journeys, and great dreams that can be achieved. In love, it points to the true intentions of you towards your partner or vice versa. Negative cards, however, it can indicate that the partner is having cold feet about a commitment. And that's not what that's saying to me. I think this is somebody, I don't know who this person is, but they're coming back. The Viaggio, they're coming back. Or they may be entering into your life. Maybe you hear from this person. You know what I mean? With some news. But I just cannot tell you enough that you should really be very careful with this person. There's something about them that I can't quite put my finger on. What am I looking at? The 3 of Wands. Hold on. That's the Viaggio. Travel. All sorts of movement, trips, journeys, relocations, and all conditions that are not set in stone. Okay? It indicates the arrival of something or someone that has been sent. Not necessarily to help you, because that's this guy. He's not sent to help you. But it also indicates travel to see the person. The second meaning of it is change or transformation, and whether this will be positive or negative, it will be indicated by what he's looking upon. See what he's looking on? There's a thought. Doesn't say that it's a neutral card. It's talking about having second thoughts. Yes. It says that in matters of love, it heralds a positive change in the dynamics of the relationship unless it is next to very negative cards, which indicate a change of heart. And here is this is what I find to be most interesting, because he represents the Namiko. This is somebody you already know. It's not an unknown enemy. Its primary meaning is that of a known enemy. This is someone that you already do not like, and you suspect that this person may be plotting against you. This card comes up to confirm your suspicions. The question is it so-and-so, so-and-so? Usually a man. He already has an open dislike for you. It's somebody whose ambitions, desires, and egos clash with yours, and they're waiting for you to be at your most vulnerable before striking. This person can be seemingly very nice, but somehow does not inspire trust. and gives you a bad feeling every time you are in the man's company. It warns that one should trust your gut feelings about this person or situation to keep him or her at arm's length. More broadly, this card represents someone who cannot mind their own business and who will cause a serious nuisance to downright harm because they will start crying. It can also indicate someone who will not see reason. Now, in love, it indicates a rival and someone who openly does not want you to be together with your, it can be an ex-lover or a vindictive ex-husband, but the person is a true snake. One of the partners may become a sworn enemy of the other, and love will turn to hatred for everyone to see, involving gossip. Financially, it indicates snares and tricks and the danger of signing documents we do not fully understand. Generally, it indicates cunningness, often low cunning, and someone who watches silently and plots against you. On a broader level, is the harbinger of unpleasant events, scandal, gossip, pettiness, threats, blackmail, and something or someone who will become dangerous. Like a snake, the card indicates someone with a forked tongue, a spreader of lies, maliciousness, and gossip. And we see, I don't know if you get involved with this person and now you're trying to figure out a way out, but I still stand by this. I think you're going to find out that the person, depending if they're still in your life right now, really wasn't who you thought they were. And I think you're going to find out something that really about their sexual predilections. Let's see what the romance angels say about this. I wonder if she is you with the truth, or she is that mediator person that comes in to help you with this. I don't know. I don't get a good feeling about this. Now, it says keep an open mind, as your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. I don't know about that. We will see what Nostradamus has to say. Maybe this is the idea that somebody tells you something specifically to whatever is the problem, whatever problem that has occurred with this. Okay, you're going to get the news or the message that you need in order to see the truth of this situation. I just wonder. Card says unlikely. I don't know what that means. Now, I'm going to call on Nostradamus to please show us around this corner. Please let us see around this corner, whatever it is. And I do believe that the next couple of weeks are going to be pivotal. If this is somebody new showing up in your life, you know, give them a wide berth. Ship. This keep an open mind is just a weird card to show up. It reminds you to stay open to the possibility of your soulmate appearing in a form that may differ from what you expect. This is especially true if you tend to date a certain type of individual, as you drew this card to help you discover your soulmate. This card may signal that you've already been introduced to this person but have overlooked his or her romantic potential. Take the time to get to know the various individuals you meet, even if there isn't an initial attraction. And at the very least, you will learn more about yourself and you may make a new friend. I don't know about that. The unlikely card. There's a lot of the energy surrounding this is really confusing. Um, but I think you're going to end up sussing out what you need to know. The situation you have asked about is unlikely to occur as you are imagining it. There may be a different version of events that will take place. Or it may be that what you've asked about is simply not in your highest, greatest good. Place your focus on an alternative possibility. Open your eyes to different opportunities and be willing to experience a unique and more uplifting outcome than what you had planned for yourself. I don't know if this is the idea that this person has a lot of money and maybe you're getting with this person because they have a lot of money. See, stepping off into the abyss. But this person is not who you think they are. I cannot stress that enough. The Navigator. Those who travel wide and far may change the view but never their heart. Departure for a journey or a new undertaking, either yours or someone you know. Leave burdens and pain behind as they are useless baggage. I don't know what this means. It definitely speaks to me of the arrival or the traveling of someone. You know, I don't know if this is you going to see somebody or somebody coming to see you. This worries me though. Let me see something. I just want to pull one card on this. It's the Nine of Swords. Anxieties, stress, despair, sleepless nights, worst fears coming true, guilt, bereavement, worry, depression, nightmares, being too hard on yourself, terror, shameful secrets, isolation, hexes, agonizing pain, regrets, hopelessness, negativity, illness, spite, breakdown, seclusion, repeatedly hashing an unpleasant situation, and crying jags. That's what I have for you, Virgo. I'm sorry it's rather a dark reading. But until next time, namaste. I was trying to see if there was anything else I can see, but there's nothing.